Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty universal, the search for clear, healthy-looking skin. Specifically, we're talking about those, stubborn issues like dark spots, sunspots, melasma, pigmentation concerns that so many of us deal with. But forget the usual surface level tips for today. We're going deep. We're looking at a really fascinating patent application from Shiseido. Seems like it could actually change how we think about preventing and treating pigmentation, really focusing on skin health right down at the cellular level. So our mission today, unpack the science behind this potential innovation. We'll use this patent application as our guide. It gives us a peek into how a major player like Shiseido is maybe shifting perspective and what that might mean for, well, for your skincare future.
And yeah, the company Shiseido, a name I'm sure many of you know. You probably know them for their products, maybe their makeup or skincare you see on the shelves. But their scientific background, it's actually huge. People maybe don't always connect them with like deep R&D, but they have this incredibly long history, right? Back to 1872. And that whole legacy is really built on a serious commitment to science. It's not just talk. And this patent application we're diving into, US 22303640006A1, it's a perfect example of their ongoing work in advanced skincare.
That's a really good point. Before we get into the weeds of the patent itself, maybe let's just frame Shiseido a bit more. Because like you said, we see the products, but understanding their scale and that research focus, it helps see why this patent is, well, significant.
Absolutely. So Shiseido Company Limited. It's a major Japanese multinational, global reach. They do cosmetics, skincare, fragrance, hair care, a massive range. And that history, back to 1872, it's not just trivia. It genuinely shapes their approach. That long-term view, that investment in science, it's fundamental to who they are as a brand. So when you see something like this patent, US 23303640006A1, it's not a surprise. It's part of that continuous effort. It underscores their investment in finding real solutions.
Right, it's foundational. And companies like Shiseido, they obviously protect these new ideas. That leads us to things like patent portfolios. So what's the story with this specific application? What problem is it trying to solve, and what's new about their angle?
Yeah, good question. So this application, composition for treating or preventing skin pigmentation, it fits into their larger strategy, their patent portfolio. And interestingly, it actually points back to earlier research, prior applications, which tells you this isn't some sudden flash in the pan.
Yeah, well,
It's clearly a line of research they've been pursuing for a while, refining the ideas, continuous development.
got it. Building blocks.
Exactly. And the core problem, obviously, is skin pigmentation. Those spots, freckles, melasma, the discoloration that bothers people. Now, traditionally, how do we treat this? Well, usually it's about melanin, right?
The pigment itself.
Yeah. So treatments often focus on either stopping the cells from making so much melanin or trying to, remove the pigment that's already there.
Like bleaching creams or lasers.
Precisely. Things like brightening serums, lasers, peels, they often work on those principles. But here's the really interesting bit in this patent. Shiseido is saying, hang on, it's not just about the melanocytes. Those are the pigment-producing cells. The innovation, the insight here, is that the cells around the melanocytes, the fibroblasts, they play a huge role.
Fibroblasts. Those are the ones that make collagen,
Yeah.
that keep skin firm.
Exactly. Those are the ones. They produce collagen, elastin, all that connective tissue stuff in the dermis, the deeper layer of skin. And Shiseido's research suggests these fibroblasts are critical players in controlling pigmentation, but they've often been overlooked in this context. So that's the departure point, focusing on the health and function of these fibroblasts. It's like realizing you need to tend the soil, not just the plant.
Okay, that is a shift. Focusing on fibroblasts, the support crew, instead of just the pigment factories, the melanocytes. But how? How do they actually influence pigmentation? Is it like signals they send out, or
That's exactly it. That's the core of the invention described in the patent. They propose using a composition that contains fibroblasts that are less damaged than the ones you'd normally find in an area of pigmentation.
less damaged, healthier fibroblasts?
Yep. Think of it like bringing in a fresh, energetic repair team to a site where the existing workers are kind of tired and worn out.
Okay, I can picture that. So where do you get these healthy fibroblasts?
Well, the patent suggests sourcing them from areas of the body that haven't seen as much action, environmentally speaking. Places less exposed to UV light and other stressors, like the inner arm maybe, or the buttocks. Areas generally covered up.
Right, less sun damage, less wear and tear. Makes sense.
Precisely. And these healthier fibroblasts are different in some key ways. First, they show fewer signs of what's called cellular senescence. Think of senescence as like cell retirement. Old cells stop dividing. Sometimes they send out inflammatory signals.
Not good for the neighborhood.
Not good at all.
Yeah.
So lower senescence markers mean these fibroblasts are younger, healthier, more functional. The patent data actually visualizes this difference quite clearly. Second, these healthy cells are better at proliferating, dividing, and making more healthy cells. Again, the data showed damaged cells were much slower to multiply.
Okay, so they're more active, more youthful.
Exactly. And here's a crucial part. These healthy fibroblasts are better at producing and secreting specific beneficial factors. Two key ones mentioned are SCF stem cell factor and HGF hepatocyte growth factor.
SCF and HGF. Okay.
And the contrast is stark. The patent shows that damaged fibroblasts, particularly ones they treated with PUVA to mimic sun damage, those showed decreased production of both SCF and HGF, so there's a direct link. Healthier fibroblasts make more of these good factors.
Interesting. So the healthy crew brings better tools, basically.
You could put it that way. So the mechanism, the way it works, when you introduce these healthy fibroblasts, or even just the beneficial factors they secrete, into an area with pigmentation, they start to influence the environment, they talk to the melanocytes, the surrounding cells. The effect is they help to suppress excessive melanin production. They can reduce the total amount of melanin present and even lower the number of active melanocytes.
Wow.
So essentially, they're helping to restore a healthier balance in the dermis. It's not just masking the problem, it's aiming to fix the underlying environment that allows hyperpigmentation to happen in the first place.
So it's like environmental cleanup at the cellular level.
That's a great analogy. And the patent includes figures, visual evidence to back this up. They used skin models. In these models, when they replaced damaged fibroblasts with healthy ones, they saw a significant reduction in the pigmented area.
Really? You could see the difference?
Oh, yeah. The figures show it clearly. Less pigment area, less melanin measured in the top layer of the skin, and fewer active melanocytes counted.
Okay.
It's pretty compelling evidence that bringing in these healthy fibroblasts can actually reverse or prevent the pigmentation process in these models. It suggests you can kind of re-educate the skin environment.
Re-educate the skin. I like that. That really does sound like a different approach than just, zapping spots.
Yeah.
So let's connect this back. For our listeners, hearing all this complex science, what are the big takeaways? What does this mean for us potentially in our bathrooms or thinking about future treatments?
Yeah, what does it all mean for you? I think what really stands out is this potential shift in approach. We're moving beyond just treating symptoms like trying to bleach a spot away towards tackling the root cause by making the skin's own environment healthier at a cellular level. You could almost think of it as heading towards, bioactive skincare or maybe cell therapy inspired skincare, using the body's own logic.
Right, working with the skin's biology.
Exactly. And for people who really struggle with pigmentation, maybe stubborn melasma that doesn't respond well to current treatments, this kind of research offers hope. Hope for potentially more effective solutions down the line, ones that might last longer because they're restoring that healthy balance in the skin's microenvironment.
That would be huge for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Now, gotta manage expectations, of course. This is a patent application. It's R&D. It's not a product you can buy tomorrow.
Sure. It's early days in that sense.
Right. But it's a massive signal about where innovation is heading. It strongly suggests a future where skincare might be less about just layering ingredients on top and more about enhancing the health and function within our skin cells.
A deeper kind of skincare.
A deeper kind, yeah. And finally, just understanding this stuff, it empowers you, doesn't it? Knowing about these underlying mechanisms means you'll be more informed when new products or treatments do come along based on this kind of science. You can ask better questions, make smarter choices.
It makes you a more savvy consumer, definitely, knowing the why behind the what.
Precisely.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. What if the real secret to amazing skin isn't just about the creams and serums we put on it? What if it's equally, or maybe even more, about the actual health, the vitality of the cells working away beneath the surface? This deep dive into Shiseido's patent, well, it certainly suggests the future skincare could be way more biological, maybe more personalized than we ever really thought. It's thinking about skin health from the inside out, right down at the cellular level. Fascinating stuff. We really encourage you to stay curious, keep digging into the science behind the products you choose, and keep asking those deeper questions. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.